Welcome back to Don't Forget the Hyphen. I'm the self-proclaimed wonderful Blue Weber, and I collect Funko Pops. And I love mashups. Well, you knew one of those already if you watched my first video. And Funko just did something I didn't think they'd ever do. But I had hoped for it for a very long time. They released 5 mashup Funko Pops that I am very excited to add to my collection. But why now? So, seemingly, Funko test ran this concept of Spidey mashup pops by launching the Uncanny Spider-Man pop for Hot Topic. Now, I'm just theorizing here. But they did this before with the half-venomized Deadpool for, at the time, Pop-in-a-Box, which has since shut its doors to selling Funko Pops. Funko does this typically for IPs that they're testing out. They usually will do 1 or 2 pops from the line as a convention or retail exclusive to see what hype and sales are generated by it. And that half-venomized Deadpool sold like hotcakes. And soon enough, they released a full line of venomized Marvel characters as Funko Pops. They actually had a few full waves and a few sporadic retail exclusive drops and convention exclusives as well. I'm still very upset that I missed out on the Magneto Barnes & Noble's one. I didn't even have to look that one up. That's just off the top of my head. I remember it very clearly. Anyway, why do I bring this up? Well, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the lone Uncanny Spider-Man pop. Now, with Uncanny Spider-Man, which as many of you know if you read the comic, it is Kurt Wagner borrowing a suit from Spider-Man as mutants are being hunted and can't exactly have his face revealed. So that suit that he borrows, which up until now Peter has never actually worn, and I doubt he ever will, which of course not, because it's just a Nightcrawler costume that's been mashed up with the Spider-Man motifs. And real quick, off topic, from the comic, I just wanted to point this out because I thought it was funny to me. But like in universe, people are thirsting after him on social media, and they show it because they think he's another Spider-Man just with a tail, which is hilarious to me. Also, as a Spider fan myself, is a kind of cool concept. When you think about these little guys, and arachnophobia warning for all the Spider haters but Spider-Man lovers, you got 3 seconds. And here we go. And he's a tailed spider. It's pretty cool, right? No? Okay. Just me and like 2 other people. Alright, that's fine. But with that being said, Nightcrawler mashed up with Spider-Man was, in fact, a hit. It was just Nightcrawler in Spider-Man's suit and mask, and yet everyone ate it up. Not a huge mashup when it comes to mashups, but like I continue to say, I love a mashup, especially when they're centered around Spider-Man and or the Spider-Verse. But now, ask me how I know it was a hit. Go ahead, ask. Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, when the Uncanny Spider-Man Funko Pop dropped, it was a Hot Topic exclusive. And it dropped first on HotTopic.com. And I missed out on it. It sold out before I could even get one, and I was big sad. I was distraught even. But thankfully, one of my local stores had just one in stock after they released them in stores. Now, I emphasize that one because this isn't circa 2018 or 2015 Hot Topic Funko drops where people were literally camping outside the door day of or night before. No. This is post-shutdown where not many people really care anymore. And yet, it sold out online. And people bought most of what was in the store stock as well. So, yeah, you know it was popular. So, Uncanny Spider-Man sells really well, right? All right, now fast forward a month or so, short of a year, and Funko, in association with Target now, has something to say. Now, they're releasing 5 brand new Spider-Man mashup figures. Now, all 5 of these Funko Pop figures are based on variant covers from the Spider-Verse event a couple years back. I want to say 2024. And let me just tell you, my little mashup-loving nerd heart couldn't be more stoked. But now, because if history is to repeat, then that means that we could be getting a lot of really dope figures. Mashup Spider-Man and Spider-Woman figures. Some of my favorites from this series of variants, subtracting, of course, the ones that they already made, because those ones were obviously the best ones. But big number 1, Beyonder. The Beyonder mashed up with Spider-Man, super dope. Next one, Rogue and Gambit. Really love that cover. I would love to see a 2-pack of them. I don't know if that one's going to happen. Number 3, Venom. And he actually looks more like, well, he's kind of like a black suit, webs, and the red symbol, which kind of, to me, looks like the original black suit that they were going to release in the comics, or at least what was conceptualized, not what they were originally going to release, but what was conceptualized before the black and solid white. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I have so many more. They're probably going to be rolling behind the screen here. But that's just one. That's just one short event that we got a bunch of really cool mashup characters for Spider-Man. Well, mashup heroes mashed up with Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that. There was also a Spider-Man 60th anniversary event run of Spider-Fied heroes a year or so prior as well. And I am not about to omit those because there are some absolute bangers art piece-wise. So good. And I'm going to list off my favorites here. So first, Silver Surfer. I absolutely need to see that one as a Funko Pop. Daredevil, super good. One of my favorite comic book cover artists, David Nakayama. He did that one. Looks amazing. Then Ant-Man as Spider-Man. Instead of a bunch of ants, he's got a bunch of little black widows, it looks like, surrounding him. Super sick. Iron Man, another great one. Very simple recolor of Iron Man's costume, or suit rather, but still A1. And then Doctor Strange. Now I will say I much prefer this Doctor Strange's costume and everything over the first one, or the one that we already have released. I feel like it didn't do enough Spider-Man justice, you know? It's just lacking a bit too much Spider-Man motifs. Spider is barely visible, and nothing going on with the eyes. They didn't even put the proper, I'm going to call it makeup. I'm going to say that Doctor Strange is wearing some eye makeup over his eyes instead of, actually wearing a mask. But they don't even do that in the pop rendition. So yeah, I think this one would be a much better look. Now, those are just 2 of the events that I feel like they might pull from. Similar to the Venomized line, they pulled from many comic covers for those pops. So I strongly feel like they're going to pull from a couple of different event lines. But, I mean, in the end, they're all Spider-Fied heroes mashed up. So, There's also quite a few others. There was the Tron 2010 movie that they did mashups for a bunch of heroes, but namely spider heroes. They did Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. They both look really great. Or even the very numerous themed event costumes, like the 2020 costumes. We had Peter, we had Gwen, we had Venom, and the iconic 2020 Miles suit that was made beautifully popular and rendered perfectly in the Miles Morales video game. Or even the 2099 costumes, which we only got Gwen and, again, Miles Morales, who had a great costume that was made popular in the Miles Morales game again. We also had the Villain's Reign variants. We had Peter as Batroc the Kicker, Gwen as Bullseye, and Miles as Ultron. That one is not my favorite, but I digress. I could go on. There are plenty of variant costumes out there on comic book covers. But yeah, I just really wanted to state how excited I am for these. I've thought about making some of these customized pops. I used to do a little bit of that back in the day. I've done a couple of them here and there, but yeah, I'm planning to use some of these as basis for new customs. But yeah, I have a question for you guys. Are you guys excited about these? If so, are there any either Spider-Man mashup Funko Pops that you'd like to see? Or just any Spider-Man suits or spider heroes in general that you'd like to see made into Funko Pops? Let me know in the comments below. And I don't normally say this, but I think the YouTube algorithm likes it. So if you like the video, please like it. And if you want to see some of my videos again in your feed, go ahead and subscribe if you want. I'm not gonna force you, but I'd appreciate it. But that's about it. I'm the wonderful Blue Weber, reminding you, don't forget the hyphen. See you guys.